Hey guys, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. A little bit cloudy this morning, but we are here and we are harvesting this morning. Thought I'd start off in our little tomato patch here. These little tomatoes that I have here are called spoon tomatoes, and you can see they're only about the size of a blueberry. But boy, do they pack a punch. I'm actually snacking while I'm picking here. These little spoon tomatoes grow a ton of little baby tomatoes, and they are some of the sweetest tomatoes that I've ever grown. They do require trellising. So you can see here, this one's going all the way up. As a matter of fact, it's over my head here. So this one right here right now is probably about 6 feet tall, and it's still blossoming. Got a ton of blossoms here. Small but packs a punch, really good. I'm noticing that I can have that in a salad, take it along with me. We're going to be saving the seeds from this year. But if you are looking for something that is a little bit different, maybe a little conversation worthy, where you're able to sit there and say, hey, you know, we've got 9 or 10 of these that we can fit into a spoon or throw in a salad, these are your tomatoes. You can also keep them in check too by trimming them, and then you'll just have little baby tomatoes that you can throw in a salad or take along for a snack for lunch. Pretty amazing. I'm actually really happy with these. They really are borderline neglect. I really don't look after them, but they are a champion. You can see just how many. This whole vine is just cluttered with tomatoes that I'm going to have to pick. So spoon tomato, if you haven't had an opportunity to actually grow them, give it a try. See what you think. You're not going to be disappointed. Is my determinate Queen of the Night tomato. So you can see when I say determinate, they will give you all of your tomatoes at once. Whereas, for example, something like the spoon tomato over there will keep growing and growing and growing, and you have to trellis it. So with this particular tomato, what happens is it'll start off a really dark blue and green. You can see the striping there. And then what it'll do is it'll turn this beautiful orange and blue striping. Isn't that awesome? And really nice to add to salads. Boy, does it ever pop in a salad. So the Queen of the Night, this is our first time growing it this year. And I have to say it has been one of the superstars in the garden. Really low maintenance. It's not fussy at all. And we threw it in a salad the other night, and it just adds that pop of color, and it also adds a nice zing. So it's not going to be sweet like you would with a cherry tomato, but it is going to give you sort of a zing, almost like a salsa. So awesome. Love it. Give it a try. It's called Queen of the Night. Check quite a bit in here. Let's see. There we go. Beautiful. Another stunning new variety that we've decided to grow this year. I'm just going to swing around. My little pink cherry tomatoes. Let's take this off here so you can see. So I'm growing another tomato this year. I did grow this one last year. Take it off so you can see. These are my pink cherry tomatoes, and you can see here how cool they actually get. So they start to turn this sort of nice dark color on the top if you leave them on there to ripen, but they're pink. Really nice tomato to snack on. Once again, another tomato that doesn't really make it up to the house when I want to do something, but rather, you know, we just sit here and we snack on them all. So I've been picking these and saving the seed from these ones as well, but awesome looking tomatoes. There's another few up here that I missed when I was harvesting. Beautiful. I guess this is going to be probably another video about tomatoes because I'm so excited about a lot of the new things that we've been growing. So this one here is a bumblebee sunrise. So it's going to start off as a green sort of striping with a purple top on the shoulders. And then what it does is it ripens into this beautiful yellow and purple color. Almost quite similar to the Sartre Rollo-S tomatoes that I showed on the last video. But boy, in a cherry tomato, it's awesome. So these actually did quite well. And so we've been saving the seed from these as well. So sweet, Almost tangy, good for salads. We chop these in half, throw them in a salad. They're really, really good. Like I said, this is the first year I've grown them, and I'm super happy with them. Low maintenance. And we could just snack all day in here, guys, all day on the things that we're growing. So once again, it's called a sunrise cherry tomato. Okay, moving on through the line. Here is my strawberry. These are a black strawberry tomato, I should say. Let me move the vines out of the way. So if you're interested in actually growing a lot of different varieties of tomatoes, I guess this year I was too, and this is one of the reasons why I'm showing you so many different tomatoes. But this is a black strawberry tomato. They don't really get much darker than this. What you're going to see is you're going to see basically a saladette tomato. That will start off, you can see here there's some little gold striping along the tomato. And then these will just stay this pink sort of strawberry color. So they've got that black striping on them. Oh, this one's even better to show you. I've actually grown these for 2 years in a row. They're very reliable. And these ones are sweet as well. Once again, an indeterminate vine. So you can see all the way up here. They're still growing. As a matter of fact, they went behind my cattle panel, so I'll have to pull those through. Put this down here. Just collecting tomatoes all over the place today. So you'll see it where it'll start out like this with the green stripes, and then they kind of turn purple, and then all of a sudden the end result will give you this beautiful pink sort of saladette tomato, but it's indeterminate, so you can get these tomatoes all summer. So you can see in here I still actually have quite a bit. Awesome. Moving on down the line, you can see we've got our delicious tomatoes. So our delicious tomatoes, as you can tell, I've been taking photos of these. I'm so proud. They are a big, big beefsteak tomato. Check that out. You can tell it's bigger than my hand, and some of them actually way over a pound. So I'm curious to see how this one weighs. And actually, you can see one's actually grown right through my cattle panel here. So what I'll have to do is I'll probably have to snip the cattle panel and pull the tomato through. So it's been an interesting year for tomatoes. One of the best years I think I've ever had. Now I do have a superstar hybrid in here that I normally grow every year. And this is called the Celebrity Hybrid Tomato. Sometimes what I like to do, guys, is I like to throw in a hybrid just to make sure that I've got tomatoes. Sometimes the years, depending on the weather, aren't that great, as you know, and the temperatures. So it's called the Celebrity Hybrid Tomato. And it never lets you down. You're always going to have a reliable, beautiful patch of tomatoes. Very disease resistant. You can see here. Very uniform, very disease resistant. I grow these every year because a lot of the tomatoes that I grow, some of them are experimental and I never know if they're really going to turn out or not. So when they do, it's awesome. But in the meantime, we can make sure that we have a nice crop of tomatoes. And you can see how beautiful they are. Very uniform. Very tasty, plump. They do have a lot of seeds, but you don't really notice them when you're eating them. So a Celebrity Hybrid. So here we are at my Sart Roll-O-S tomato patch. That was the yellow and purple tomato, which was the star of last week's video. You can see here we've already got more. Starts out an awesome yellow. And then what it does is it starts to slowly turn purple. These ones actually have become a favorite of mine. They have a very slight hint of pineapple that I've noticed. I've taken a look around. I've asked other people who have grown them, and they also say the same thing. So it's got kind of a fruity taste to it if you're looking at making a really great salsa. This one is awesome. It's called the Sart Roll-O-S. So here we are back at another patch of delicious tomatoes. They're called Delicious, and I want to thank Wild Mountain Farms for actually sending us some seed this year and being able to experiment with these. So you are going to be getting these big, beautiful, rounded beefsteak tomatoes. These are some of the biggest beefsteak tomatoes I've ever grown. So these tomatoes are normally over a pound, easily. So you can tell that it's way bigger than my hand. I think we're at the segment now where I think we should weigh these. It's fun to weigh them and actually see how much they weigh. Got another one coming along here. Let's put it on the scale. So guys, we've gotten to my favorite part where I like to put the tomatoes on the scale. So let's get this set up. I'm going to what's called tare the scale. So I've already done that. So we've got 0 for everything in pounds and ounces. So this is your regular celebrity hybrid tomato. And your celebrity hybrid tomato, you can see, is quite actually smaller than the delicious tomato. But let's see how much this one weighs. So that one is about 3.8 ounces. You can tell the size difference. And now we're going to weigh the monsters. So we're going to start with the smallest guy first, which I believe is this one. So this is our first delicious tomato. So 1 pound, let's say 2 ounces. Perfect. We're going to weigh the second biggest one. One pound, let's say almost 2 ounces, maybe 1.5. Oh, it's still going. So 1.7 ounces, 1 pound. Okay. And let's see how much this guy weighs. Make sure the scale is at 0. I'm going to turn this off. There we go. We're back to 0. And let's put the biggest guy on here. So 1 pound, 1 pound, 2 ounces. So you can see these ones actually get fairly big. By far, my biggest beefsteak tomato I've ever grown. And we are in our San Rodorda paste tomato patch. So you can see here how big these ones get. These are some of the biggest paste tomatoes I've ever grown. Saucy, not a lot of seeds. Ooh, they're ready to go, that's for sure. Take a look at that. This is a new paste tomato for me. So we didn't grow very much. I wasn't really sure what kind of results I was going to yield. But so far, so good. And we're going to save these paste tomato seeds. Take a look at this one. And we're going to grow a few more next year because I think it's time to really make our own spaghetti sauce and kick it into high gear. We're right at that pinnacle now. But awesome, awesome. I love it. So while we're here, I thought I would throw something different at the end of the video. And the reason being is because this is a very special bean. So this bean here that is drying down phenomenally on the vines right now is called the Nona Agnes blue bean. And I've been saving these seeds actually for a few years now, and it's a really great bean. It's a soup bean that you can use or you can eat while it's obviously growing. So you can eat it as a snap bean as well. However, I'm going to show you some of the cool things about this bean. So here's one of my favorite things about this bean. So the bean seeds are really not traditional. They are a soup bean, but all summer when it's warm and the seeds are drying down, you'll get a gray sort of blue seed to it. I've picked a pod right now from the bean vine itself. And one of the cool things about Canada and with this bean is that when it cools off and the weather, guys, has gotten pretty frosty, is this bean will change color. So it goes from a gray to a very, very cool blue. If I can get these out. Do you see that blue in there? So it goes from that really light, beautiful gray to this dark, sort of smoky, awesome blue. So here you go, guys. I just wanted you to see the color contrast on this bean. So to the right here on our pile, this is when the weather was warm during the summer and the bean was developing. And our pile on the left here is when the weather turned frosty. So you can see the beautiful difference in the beans. It makes no difference in taste, the color, but the blue definitely looks awesome. And it's really one of my favorite beans to grow if you're looking for sort of a nutty flavor, but high in protein and very easy on your tummy. Nona Agnes is it. And the colors really add to it as well. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks for joining me so much at Not a Real Farm. If you have any questions, please email us at notarealfarm@yahoo.com or check out our Etsy store at notarealfarm.etsy.com. See you soon.